Welcome to the 2025 Culture of Care Summit. My name's Lane Andrew, and this presentation is entitled Helping Educators Craft a Class Welcome Announcement that demonstrates why the instructor cares about the content. So this summit is about the culture of care, and part of that is why do we care about our content? Why do we care about teaching it to our students? And one way to convey that caring is through a welcome announcement. Welcome announcements are often thought of as week one announcements. You tell them what's due the first week, you tell them about the course objectives, and I've done welcome announcements like that before, and they're okay. But I wanted to conceive of a welcome announcement that was really catered towards getting the student caught up in mathematics. That's what I teach. And I wanted students to experience mathematics in a new way and be welcomed and introduced to it in a new way. So I conceived of my welcome announcement as having four parts. The first one is to greet students. After all, this is a welcome announcement, so I need to welcome them to the class or greet them, tell them a little bit about the class, address the difficulty of the class, and then the fourth part embedded in this single welcome announcement is going to be a video right after part 1 through 3. So part 1 through 3 is going to be text. I'm going to type that stuff in, and then 4 will take them right to a video. I want to keep this relatively short. So here's my greeting. I basically welcome them to the math class, intermediate algebra, and I tell them you're in the right place and you're taking this class because it's required. I tell them a little bit about the class. Sometimes students are thrown off by the intermediate algebra, and so I talk about there's different flavors of math and they need to be in intermediate algebra in college. I also tell them a little bit about algebra. Maybe some of them have never taken algebra before. Many of our students enter math with a lot of anxiety, and so I have to address that. So the first part, I kind of address this in two parts. I first say, you've been out of math sometimes 10, 20, 30 years. That's okay. Almost everybody in this class is. You're not in the wrong place. Number two, oftentimes they've had a terrible math history. They've had bad math instructors or angry math instructors, or they failed a lot of math class. So I want to encourage them to forget about the past. They're adults now. They're not to feel bad in this math class. No one in here wants them to feel inferior or to feel like they can't succeed. We all want them to succeed. So after this, right, I want to keep the typing and the text relatively short, but I do want to get them a little bit oriented towards the class. And then I want to turn to a video, make it more three-dimensional. I'm sure maybe the students want to look at me. What do I look like? What am I, what's my personality? Well, I've developed a video, and the video has four parts. Part one is, what is your subject really about? What is my subject really about? What is math about? What is the day in the life of someone in my content area? Have I want the student to understand that math is just like being a police officer or being a nurse or being someone that makes bridges or being a mailman. It's about someone that works in this area that's chosen to make a career of this. Math is not just about doing homework and getting a C minus and getting out of a class. Math is a career. It's a way of life. If it is a career, what are some joys and pains that I have? Why am I so passionate about this class? Why should they care? Should they just do the bare minimum to get a C minus and get out of here and forget about it? Or should they, does this apply to their life? Does this make them a better person? So here is the video. It's in a class, and up above would be the preliminary text, and then I've blown up the video that I inserted in the welcome announcement, and I just want to play a minute or so of it to give you a feel for how it starts off. Hello, I'm your instructor, Dr. Andrew, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I do as a mathematician. To help me do that, I've got some slides here. So, what do mathematicians do? Well, you might think of math as solving problems, and it is about that, but it's about so much more. It's about solving problems, it's about miracles, it's about mystery, it's about the chance of becoming famous, and it's about character building, it's about humility and things like that. Let me explain. So, in that first part, I tried to tell the student what math is really about. And it's a much more expansive definition than math is about getting out of your math class with as little pain as possible. This next part of the video is a day in the life of a mathematician. They might not realize that math people do things besides just torment students by giving them homework all the time, right? So I'm going to play a clip here of a day in my life. Famous, just like the next guy, I sometimes work on this problem. And the nice thing is, it's really low overhead. You don't need to spend tons of money on plane tickets or gold-plated paper or fancy pens. I use a notebook that I got for 25 cents at Walmart. And this is me in action. I am trying to solve the problem of what's called zeta 3, or the sum of those fractions that I was showing you. There's another action shot of me. So what do I write in here? Well, I look at the problem from all sorts of angles and I try to see if I can discover a pattern. Can I make some kind of progress? I oftentimes just go around and around in circles, literally and figuratively. And I try to bring in mathematics from all kinds of areas that I've learned. And it's kind of fun. It's like a big puzzle that you try. So I tried to show them that I have a notebook and I actually like work on some problems and what it's like. I want to show them how some joys and triumphs of mathematics. So let me show you a clip from the video here. Solving problems and the desire to be famous, it's much more likely that this problem will build in me humility and patience rather than make me famous. You don't know how many times in my notebook I've worked through a solution and it's been wrong and I scribble the whole thing out. Or I've traced through equations page after page after page after page, and it's led nowhere. And that's me, the agony of defeat. Only a mathematician knows my pain when I work for an hour on a particular solution and it turns out I made a mistake. After I show them the joys and triumphs, I round out the presentation or the video with a, why do I devote my life to this? And I just try to break them free from, math is a set of problems that you have to trudge through. And I talk about the love of mathematics and the desire that some mathematicians have for becoming famous by solving famous problems. It builds character. It's an adventure. It's interesting. It's fun. So thanks so much for listening to me as I took you through this welcome announcement. And it has four parts. And the real goal is to show that I care about mathematics. And if I care about this subject, I care about them learning it. And if I care about them learning it, then I care if they succeed. And so I think it starts the course off right, and it helps them perhaps get a passion for mathematics and maybe do better in the course.